Anything else?
First one, bring up the admissions requirements. The first thing that we're going to do is to review the admissions requirements. The admissions requirements are on the School of Nursing webpage. You go to the link for admission, undergraduate pre-professional program. So to come into the university as a pre-nursing student, basically you apply to the university. If you're admitted to the university and they say, okay, you be pre-nursing, you're in pre-nursing, which you are now. Okay, so in order to be able to move forward to the professional program, there is an application process that you have to follow. In order to apply to the professional program, you have to have a cumulative GPA of at least 3.0. You have to have a math and science GPA of at least 2.8. And this is the last year that it will be 2.8. After that, it goes up to 3.0 for math and science GPA. You can't have more than one failure in the math and sciences. I need you all to hear me because I've seen a little preliminary of some of the grades, and your math and sciences are extremely important. You cannot have more than one failure in the math and science course. And a failure in math and science is a C-. You must take the HESI A2 admissions examination. The HESI A2 admissions examination is administered in your sophomore year in January. For those persons who are applying to the professional program this year, it's going to be administered, the first test is being administered January 23rd, which is actually the fourth Saturday. If you don't achieve the score of 75 across the board in all areas that we test, then it's my strong suggestion, if you're looking at getting into the professional program here, that you retest on the following Saturday, which is January 30th. That you must achieve a score of 75 across the board. Is everybody clear on that part of it? How many of you will be applying to the professional program March 2016? Raise your hand. Okay. So the information for the HESI examination, registration for the HESI examination, you will get that information when you all come back in January to register for your classes. It doesn't come out more than 2 weeks before the test. So that information will be ready for you when you come back in January. But you must have successfully completed everything in your curriculum up to the point of spring semester 2016. And there are some of you who are taking nursing courses this semester. You can only have one failure in a nursing course and be able to continue in the nursing program. A failure in a nursing course is a C. Any questions about that? Failure in a nursing course is a C. Failure in math and science is C-. Having a C in your math and science courses will not get you that 2.8 GPA required for math and science. So that's why we're going to look at calculating your grades and calculating your GPA, so that when you do your application and we come to you and tell you, well, you're not admitted, you're not going to be admitted for one of these reasons up here. Normally we don't even tell you why you're not admitted, because it's going to be clear. One of these criteria you did not meet. Okay, so I want you to be clear on what you have before you even do your application. Okay. The HESI A2 examination that's going to be given in January covers vocabulary, reading comprehension, grammar, math, biology, anatomy and physiology, chemistry. There's going to be a learning style survey that you take. There's no right or wrong answer to a learning style. It's just you're answering questions about how you learn best. And then there's going to be a section on critical thinking, how you're processing information. The test is roughly about 4 hours, 4.5 hours. You may finish before then, but you have at least 4.5 hours to take the test. We're going to start on time, and if you get there late, you're going to get whatever time is remaining. So I strongly suggest that you get there early so that you can get checked in, make sure the computer systems are working properly, and you can have all the time that you need for your test. All right. So those are the admissions criteria. Anybody have any questions about the admissions criteria? Whether you're applying this year or you'll be applying next year. Any questions about the admissions criteria? Okay. We're going to look at the application. This is the application. This will also be on the nursing website, where you can do the application online, print it out, or you just print it out and type it. But you either print very neatly in blue or black ink, or you type it. Okay. So the very first page talks about the application packet when it's due. The application packet is due March 15th. I believe that's a weekday this year. And so it must be in by 5 p.m. Anything after 5 p.m. will not be taken. This is your application checklist, and it's very important that when you're doing the application, when you're reviewing the application, that you read it thoroughly. Do not submit with your, this is just a checklist, this first page, so the checklist is not submitted with your application. Make sure you read it carefully, that you know the minimum requirements for the professional program, and that you have submitted all the documents required. We had 3 people last year who did not get admitted because they didn't submit all the documentation. So I need for you to know all of the documents that should be submitted, and it should be included all in one packet. Of course, you should have been admitted to the professional program and successful completion of all of the pre-nursing courses. So when you apply, of course, you will be in the spring semester, second semester of your sophomore year, so you will be currently enrolled in those classes. So when you apply, and we review, the committee reviews your application, if they're going to admit you, it will be a provisional admission. And the letter you would receive would be a provisional acceptance into the professional nursing program. And it's provisional because you have not completed this semester of courses. And so once you have completed this semester of courses, you have successfully completed all of the courses, then you would receive a letter of full acceptance into the program. I need to take this out. This says cumulative Hampton University grade point average of 3.0. That is incorrect. It is a cumulative grade point average of every school that you have attended. So we have some students who have attended community colleges. We have students who have attended other four-year institutions. We do the cumulative GPA of all schools attended. And so you must submit official transcripts for every school that you've attended, including Hampton University. Which means you would have to go over to you can go online or go over to the registrar's office and order your official transcript for Hampton University. Again, this is the information on the math and science GPA. Not more than one repeat in your math and science courses combined. Not more than one course withdrawal in math and science, and those who know who come for advisement say we take that on a case-by-case basis. We have students who transfer into the program, and when we look at their transcripts, their math and science courses cannot be more than 5 years old. If they're more than 5 years old, they have to repeat those courses. And then the acceptable scores on the HESI A2 admissions exam. The bottom of this page talks about your application material. Of course, your Hampton University professional nursing program application, official transcripts for all schools attended. Your HESI A2 scores cannot be more than a year old. We have some people, again, who transfer and they take the HESI test other places. Your HESI test scores cannot be more than a year old. 2 letters of recommendation from Hampton University faculty. And I put in parentheses, teachers. And last year I assumed that people knew what faculty was. And I assumed incorrectly. These are teachers, not dorm directors, not your coach. These recommendations must come from your teacher. And it's 2 letters, but there's an application form in this packet that you're going to see in a minute. You don't want letters. Again, everything should be packaged in one envelope with your name on it and brought to the Office of Academic Support Services by 5 p.m. March 15th. This is the actual application. It must be completed. If it's something that does not apply to you, then you put N/A in that space or draw one neat line through that application. I don't want to see anybody's application with a whole lot of scratch marks on it. Not to anybody's professional program do you submit an application like that. Last year, someone submitted their application packet to me in a clear folder, which that was fine. But it looked like a kindergartner wrote the name and address up there, scribble going sideways. That alone should have disqualified them from the program, because that's not professional. That's not even indicative of a college student. So please don't do that. Make sure you review your application before you put it in that envelope and send it put it in my office. So this is the application. This talks about prior school attendance. You can put your high school, but nothing before high school, please. And any other colleges, 2-year or 4-year institutions that you've attended. Work and volunteer experience. If you have any work experience, put it up there. I don't care if you worked at McDonald's 2 hours a week. That's work experience. Or if you volunteered anywhere, put that experience on your application. This is very important. The personal statement. And it asks you to write a personal statement about why you want to be a bachelor's prepared registered nurse. And what are your goals relative to nursing? And this should be typed. And if it goes beyond this page, then you can attach another page. But I expect you to know, number one, what a bachelor's prepared registered nurse is. Where can it lead you? What can you do with it? Why is it that that's what you want to be? And for you to tell me I want to help people is not it. So make sure you do your research and have really thought about this before you write this personal statement. And then you have to sign it that this was written by you, and not that you got somebody else to do it for you. This is the recommendation form. And so I don't want a recommendation letter. I want you to give this person the form. And whatever instructor you give this form to, there are specific instructions up here for the instructor. They're going to complete it, and they're going to put it in a sealed envelope before they give it to you. And then that's to be included in your packet. And it's space up here for the recommendor to put additional comments up here if they choose to. They must sign it. So again, I said you need 2. There are 2. So when you print it out, 2 will print out. If you need additional ones, you can print out as many as you need. But just make sure you submit 2 with your application packet. Any questions on the application? This will be online on the School of Nursing website. Due when? By what time? Can you write in red, green, purple, or orange? What is it? Excuse me? Black or blue ink or type. If you choose to do black or blue ink, it must be what? Printed. Printed neatly. Okay. Any questions about that? If you have any questions about it, you can come by my office to see. So this is the application. The professional program starts in the summer. So whenever summer school starts, I think it's the end of May, usually right after Memorial Day. That's when your classes begin. And so there's a lot of other information that you will get in the second semester. I'll come to your class individually, whether it's your health assessment class or computations and pharmacotherapeutics, and go over the finances of the professional nursing program. Okay? All right, so let's look at computation of your grade point averages in your class and your cumulative grade point average.
Which one you want to use?
I like the summers for teaching next.
Okay.
All right.
So tell them how to get here.
All right, so this is the School of Nursing webpage, and this is under Student Resources. And then from Student Resources, you come down to Grade Calculator. And so the one that we're going to use today is the Hampton University Center for Teaching Excellence Grade Calculator. Once you click on that link, you'll see Download Quo Vadis. You must click Download Quo Vadis.
I can share this file with you.
Okay. Once you go to Download Quo Vadis and click, you can do Course. And so if you want to double check whatever your grade is in biology, I don't know. All right, so the first thing that you want to do is to put in however many tests you have scheduled in that semester. So let's say 4. And test count, what are your test count in biology? What's the percentage? Your test for 25%? Is it? Okay, kind of low. All right, and quizzes? You don't have quizzes? Okay. Papers? 20% for papers? How many papers? Okay, that's a good one. That's 20%. Midterm? Y'all don't even know. Lord have mercy. Where is it going? Syllabus. What's the lab? This is recorded. Y'all know that, right? The lab is how much? And the final? It can't be 15%.
But you have to have a midterm. You must have a midterm.
We have to do something else here because that doesn't equal up to 100%. I'm forgetting homework? Okay, so I'm going to put homework under quizzes. Homework is 10%? How much homework do you get? A lot? All right, so I'm just going to put 3 for homework because it's just an example. And it's 10%. Okay. Now we had a total of 100%. All right, so let's put in 4 test grades. That was your first one. You didn't do so well. Third one, you came up real good. Fourth, when you lost your mind, you went to a party. All right, so quizzes, which was homework. Homework should be easy, right? If you do it. Okay. All right, so first one you got 50. You were new. Got 100, and then you got an 82. 1 paper, right? That 1 paper, you did okay. Midterm, no grade. Lab, how y'all get 100 in lab? 100 in the lab. Final.
95.
Is this wishful thinking? Okay. All right. So do you see how it calculates it for you? You don't have to do the calculation. You just have to know the percentages, the number of grades in that category, and then put in the grade. You got that? Anybody didn't get it? Don't be scared to say you didn't get it. Your course syllabus should tell you your percentages. Your course syllabus should also tell you how many tests you should have scheduled that semester. How many papers to do, so you should be able to put that in. And then you just plug in your grades. And the computer system calculates the grade for you. Okay? So that's for your individual courses. Now we want to go back and we want to look at what I normally use to calculate the grade is Departmental Honors. This is just what I use. Under Departmental Honors, you got to share it again.
No, it was small.
Okay. Okay. Under Departmental Honors, let's put in the course numbers. So we're going to do 101 for chemistry, 4 credits, and you just put in the grade. So let's say you got a B minus. Bio 224, 4 credits, you got a C. Now as we go along, it's giving you your GPA at the bottom. So each time you add in, it's calculating your GPA. Bio 225, 4 credits, the light bulb came on, you got a B plus. Math 110, a who? Who got an A? I'm going to give you your A. All right, then you have statistics. Yeah, everybody got an A. When y'all do this at home for real, put those real grades in. So let's go with the Psych 346, 3 credits, B. All right, what's the other math or science courses missing? We got Chemistry 101, Anatomy and Physiology 1 is 224, Anatomy and Physiology 2 is 225, Math 110, Psych 346, what's the other? No, it's not. Micro, Bio 304. You haven't taken it yet, but we're going to look at it. Because if you take Bio, listen, you take Bio 304 in the spring, and at the end of the semester, you have a C, and that C brings you below 2.8, you're going to get a letter that's where your admission is going to be rescinded. Listen to me now, because we go back in the last day of the semester when those grades go in and we do those calculations again. All right, so you got to be in micro. What is your GPA? Yes. Oh no, when we do the calculation, the grade comes in. So okay, let me give you another example. As it is now, the GPA is 2.955. But let's say somebody had to repeat, and they repeated 224. This was the first time they took 224. What did that just do to the math and science GPA? Brought it from a 2.95 to a 2.7. Okay? Now let me tell you this. I'm going to give everybody a warning. So listen carefully. Remember with your application I said you had to submit official transcripts for every school attended? Okay? And we've had some people who did not submit official transcripts for every school attended. But we got the information that they attended a school and didn't report it to us. What happens to that student? They're dismissed. That's unethical. You're going into a nursing practice. Being unethical can cause you to lose your license. So if you're unethical here, you will most assuredly be unethical on that job. So, I'm just throwing that out in the atmosphere. Let it marinate. Don't let it be you. Okay. So with that, we just did the math and science GPA. Okay? All right, now, so we can go in and add the other courses. English 101. You don't know, I had some people with English 101 got F who are native to the United States. How do you do that? Thank you. All right, English 102. Do you see how this works? Do you see how easy it is? Okay. This is what I need for you to do with the transcript. And even if you repeat a course here in Hampton, so let's say the person took History 106 the first time, History 106 the first time, and they got a D, you don't have to repeat that class, do you? But if you do repeat it, both grades count. Okay? So, what we do with your GPA calculation, we do what I call a true GPA calculation. What a lot of institutions are doing is, if a student does not pass a course according to their major standard, let's say they get a C minus, let's say for us, you get a C minus in Math 110, and you retake Math 110, and you get a B. Well, that C minus no longer counts in your GPA. It shows on your transcript, but it no longer counts in your GPA. When we do a GPA calculation for your application to the School of Nursing, both grades count in the GPA. Okay? Yes.
So we get one repeat for the math and science altogether.
Yes.
But for English and history, do we get as many?
You get as many, but it's killing your GPA. So that's why I say in all of your classes, strive to do the best that you can do, because remember, you want your cumulative GPA to be 3.0 or higher. It has to be in order for you to come into the nursing program. And understand that even if you apply to this nursing program or you apply to nursing programs elsewhere, their minimum GPA may be 3.0, but the reality is, especially when those schools have cutoff, and they may have a cutoff of 50 students, they may have a cutoff of 75 students, they're going to take the top 50 or the top 75. So though you may qualify with the 3.0, the reality is you got hundreds of people whose GPA is much higher than 3.0. And so if they cut off at 50, that number 50 may be a 3.6. So what you want to do to strive is don't just go for the bare minimum of 3.0. Go for as high as you can get, which requires study. You've got to study. You've got to cut some of the social activity. And some of the social activity has knocked out a lot of students. Some of them are so social they didn't even show up for pre-registration advisement. So when you don't even make pre-registration advisement, there is an issue, because we did that for a month. All right. So any questions so far? GPA calculation, whether it's for an individual course or your cumulative GPA. Any questions? Don't be afraid to ask questions. Okay. Application, admissions requirements. Any questions about admissions requirements? HESI A2, what's the minimum required score in the HESI A2? 75 across the board. Information for the HESI A2 will be given out to you, should be the first week in January. They usually don't put out the registration information until 2 weeks before the test. So when you come back in January, I'll have the HESI registration information for you. The test is it's either $42 or $45. And you will pay for this online when you register for the test. You don't give us any money. Okay? Questions? Did I leave out anything, Dr. Williamson? Ms. Pendergrass?
Reiterate to everyone, especially coming to a look at mine in January. Does HESI put out the A2 study exam?
They have a study guide.
I would highly recommend a postal student would start looking at that over the Christmas holidays while you are coming down, resting sun, but you need to start looking at getting that prepared. I know a lot of you trying to get ready, get back, get out of here, to go home, but I'm going to say this, nursing is very, very demanding. You've got to really want to do this. Is it easy? No. Is it rewarding at the end? Yes. I'm a registered nurse. I'm a family nurse practitioner. I've been doing this stuff for 30 years. What I'm saying to you in this business, you're going to be young people making critical decisions about my health if I'm in the hospital being sick. That I take this very, very seriously. If this is not, and you look at your science and math and you're struggling, you need to start being honest with yourself and what do you need to do to get the help. This is not a time to be bashful. This is the time to ask and seek help. University has the effectiveness, so there's so many places here. Start looking for that. The beginning is the day you want to be your classes. You need to start doing that because I would like to see all of you in the professional program. If you all make it in, we have 6 places, like you talked about. We have a 6. But you got to make the criteria. And I can't bend, I'm not part of the scholarship, but I can't bend those rules if you don't meet the criteria. You can't have the parents calling and saying, but they're put by the way. No, it is 3.0 or better. It is for you, the last group, it is a 2.8. After that, everybody else coming in, math times GPA is a 3.0. And some of those, this Christmas, for those also interested in applying, this is the time to ask for money. Because those of you who are in your sophomore year, for your nursing courses, you are wearing scrubs. You're no longer in the street clothes when you come to the nursing classes. You got to purchase that. As you said, there's a lot of other things you can start purchasing. So I would advise you to get a savings account, start it, and ask anybody, what do you want? Give me cash. And put it in your savings account. Because as you're moving through the program, and things you have to purchase, you're going to need that money. So that may not be the best pep talk, but I'm about being open up front with you. Because I don't want students to waste their time or their money if they're not ready to dedicate what they need to the profession. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Minton. All right, so criminal background check for those persons doing the professional program. You will be required to do a criminal background check. I will tell each and every one of you, whether you're a freshman, sophomore, juniors, or whatever, if some of the people you're hanging around with doing some shaky stuff, back away, run. Because if you get a charge, it's going to come up on that criminal background check. Everything. You get a drug screen. You are required to do a drug test. Before you come into that professional program, I'm telling you, don't get caught up. Because if you get a dirty drug test, you're not only out of nursing, you're out of the university. If it's found that you have charges, you're not only out of nursing, you're out of the university. So, I'm just telling you. I'm not trying to scare anybody to death. I'm just telling you what I know and what I've seen. By 5 p.m., you're out of the university on that day.
For first year students, we're not applying for the freshman, so our next
No, we're not applying for your second year. Yes.
She was asking when the Georgia test was due. Somebody was asking when the Georgia test was due, and I just said stop smoking now. Just as a segue.
I'm just saying.
Just as a segue.
Don't eat the brownies either.
Just as a segue to what Dr. Williamson was saying about cash, what I have to tell you won't take too long. My name is Ms. Watkins, and I'm the clinical coordinator in the lab. You must have scrubs So if you're in are you anybody in 230 next semester?
They're in 217. It's a group that should be 217, 218, 230.
217, 218, and 230. So you're going to, like you did in 105, you're going to need scrubs, and if those scrubs are worn, get some new ones. Don't come with old scrubs if you think you're worn out. Also for 217 and 218, you're going to need a stethoscope. You're going to need a stethoscope with a bell that looks like this. So if you have any questions about that, you can come and see me. You don't have to buy the most expensive stethoscope. You'll need a little notebook. You'll need a watch with the second hand. Watch with the second hand. A digital watch for 217, 218. You need a stethoscope. You need a watch with the second hand. And you need a pen light. Okay, those are the three reasons you must have. You can get them online. Okay? Last thing I want to tell you about the lab, those of you that will be in 217 and 18, and then also in 230, you'll have to come into the lab. Coming into the lab, you have to follow our dress code with the scrubs and the shoes and everything. But you're also going to have to put your hair up. Looking around the room, I see people with all kinds of hair, and that's okay. You can't put it up when you come to the lab door. You must have it up. So if you need to buy some things and practice, but all of it must be up and off the collar. All of it. There'll be no earrings except little post earrings in your ears, male and female. That's it. No rings unless you're married. No bracelets unless you're married. No bracelet. And no artificial nails.
I know that's going to kill some of y'all.
All tattoos must be covered. All tattoos must be covered. RNs do not have tattoos.
Not visible.
All that. And everything I'm telling you is at Norfolk State, TCC, it's in every nursing program. So it's not just here. So I don't want you to come in January and think, what am I going to do? You want to keep your hair long, that's fine, practice. Put it up. Can't be up, can't be out like this. Must be up and not.
Yes and no.
Okay?
All right. Hold on 1 minute. 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. Mr. Skeet, who is our IT person down here in the lab. This is Mr. Skeet.
Yeah, hello everyone. And just a quick 30 seconds on everything that has been discussed. I think the majority of everyone in here should have been receiving a lot of email communication from the nursing. But if you have not, I know most of you in here, you should have your cell phones and stuff. I would advise that you add yourselves to our Facebook and our Twitter pages. Facebook and Twitter is A2 Nursing. Everything that we have discussed in here from our first meeting back a couple months ago and from today will be recorded, and I put everything up on our YouTube page. So if you want, you can review this from your mobile devices, and I would also advise that if you want, you can also forward it on to your parents and stuff so they can see the same thing as well, so that everyone is on the same page to understand what we are asking. That's all I have to say.
All right, thank you guys for coming out. I hope everybody signed in. If not, please sign in up front before you leave.